With the introduction of Schnorr signatures and Taproot, it will be possible to increase the scalability of Bitcoin. Polkadot cryptocurrency surged by 100% in the last 7 days and is now the 4th largest coin in terms of market cap. Back then, the first target of the correction was the 21-week MA, which is today at $19,000. Welcome to the Coin Post. Bitcoin is gonna get more privacy and scalability. Polkadot is launching a new altcoin season. The authorities are once again plotting against cryptocurrencies. And finally, the Bitcoin price prediction for the following week. Let's discuss these and other topics right now in this video. Thank you for watching my videos and supporting me with your likes. Let's get into it. Bitcoin developers introduced Bitcoin Core 0.21.0. In this version, they first thought about the products that are created over Bitcoin, such as light wallets. They introduced descriptor wallets, that is, you gotta use a script instead of a key, which allows to extend the functionality of the app. The release also introduced a new block filtering system to eliminate a number of potential vulnerabilities associated with light wallets that don't keep a full history of Bitcoin's transaction ledger, but queries data as needed from a full node. As for the privacy lovers, the new version supports the privacy browser Tor's v3 address, with improved cryptographic protection and less disclosure in blockchain analysis. But the main reason for highlighting this news is adding Schnorr signatures and Taproot to the code. It means that the work on the code is complete, and we'll just have to wait for the announcement of implementation day. By the way, at the end of last year, more than 90% of miners announced they were ready to support this update. The last major Bitcoin update was in 2017, so-called SegWit, which exceeded the 1 MB block size limit. Now, with the introduction of Schnorr signatures and Taproot, it will be possible to increase the scalability of Bitcoin and significantly improve the transaction privacy. Thus, Schnorr signatures allow several personal signatures to be combined into a single multi-signature, which cannot be further divided into components. That is, for those who analyze the information in the blockchain, transactions signed by one person and by a few will look absolutely the same. Whereas previously, any multi-signature could be divided into components, and you could find out whose keys were used for it. So this is how Schnorr works, while Taproot enhances its use to different types of transactions. Next, let's get to the altcoin prices, and then Bitcoin regulation issues and the price prediction for the near future. So stay with us! Polkadot cryptocurrency surged by 100% in the last 7 days, and is now the 4th largest coin in terms of market cap. You've asked to make a separate video about it, so if you're still up for such a review, let me know in the comments. In the meantime, let's use the DOT token to talk about the altcoin season and what's going on with young projects. Polkadot is another Ethereum killer, at least that's what they call it. Although the project presents itself as a bridge between various blockchains, which helps them to share information and transactions. However, the idea is not new. Cosmos also creates an internet of blockchains, but Polkadot got ahead of its colleagues in terms of the price rise. My personal opinion is that there is a lot more to the price of Polkadot than its real value in the future, at least because there is no internet of blockchains today, and the amount of users of all kinds of decentralized services is ridiculous compared to their centralized analogs. So this rise is only about hype than about fundamental factors. And in the light of Bitcoin market share dropping to almost 66% and altcoins growing, it's high time to start talking about the altcoin season. Although Ethereum price rose just a little, Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash dropped in the last few days. It's the new projects that are growing. I mean the projects that recently broken into the top, like Cardano, Polkadot, and Chainlink. I personally find this whole story to be just a hype, but I won't claim that they're at their peak and they're coming to an end. Maybe there's still some potential there, as long as we get out in time. Give us a thumbs up so that YouTube promotes this video and more people find out about the new altcoin season, and we're getting to the second part of the video. Meanwhile, the UK kept themselves busy and even launched an entire petition to ban transactions in Bitcoin. The arguments are still the same: they have no real value, they destabilize society, and they're used by criminals. I mean, I feel like a really bad guy when I check my crypto wallet balance. The government would have to respond if the petition gets at least 10,000 signatures. But their number suggests there are plenty of sane people in the UK, and I hope it stays that way. In general, dark clouds are gathering, although we're used to this kind of reasoning. Despite this and the fact that Bitcoin has stopped rising, CoinPost continues to gather 10,000 subscribers. So thank you all so much for supporting our channel. And as for the Bitcoin price prediction for the following week, I want to support JPmorgan analysts. I already mentioned the strong resistance at $40,000 in my previous video last week, and now a cool bank also drew attention to this. They believe that if Bitcoin doesn't break out above $40,000, there is a chance of an even bigger correction. The pattern of demand for Bitcoin futures and the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust will help determine the outlook. If the pace is over $100 million per day, then everything will be fine and the price of Bitcoin will get consolidated before hitting a new all-time high. JPMorgan analysts drew a triangle, and I want to draw your attention to the 21-day moving average. Since January 11th, it's been used as a support, but the price is increasingly pressed against this line. We saw a similar picture after the first unsuccessful breakthroughs, 12,000, and then had to go into a bigger correction. But most of all, the picture resembles the summer of 2019. Back then, the first target of the correction was the 21-week MA, which is today at $19,000. But as long as bears are pushing the price down, it could rise above 25,000. If that happens and we have to survive the correction, I'd remind you that for a long-term upward trend, it's not an obstacle really. On the contrary, it confirms the repetition of the previous growth cycle. So don't you panic. You better share this video with friends who are into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And that will be it for today. Thanks for watching. It's the CoinPost channel. Subscribe and get enlightened.